Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Game Hub. I'm your host, GamerK, and it's time for the very first episode of my Villainous guides for Marvel's Villainous. I've done Villainous guides for the Disney version, and now it's time for the Marvel verse. So for any of you Marvel fans out there, pick up this game and be the villain you always love. Some of them will be released soon, hopefully. This is from the starter set, Infinite Power with Thanos. That image of silhouette of Thanos looking all menacing. And to start off these reviews, I am starting with the mechanical threat known as Ultron. Let's start up the board, and these boards are different than the Disney ones because these ones fold all the way instead of just having this section cut off. And there's the board. There's that nice, really cool, slick image of Ultron looking all menacing and powerful. Humans are hopeless, vicious, filthy, selfish, fearful. A fungus infection for which there is only one cure. The Rage of Ultron. Don't know why I'm trying to make him sound like Steve Bloom or anything, but anyway, let's get to Ultron's board, and there he is with his objective, reveal Age of Ultron. Here we have the research lab, which looks very stylized and very comic booky, which I kind of love about this series. Manufacturing array. The reconfiguration base, and Stark Industries industrial complex. And here we have the specialty area, which I will get to in a bit. So to start off, basically, we have, for Ultron's objective, he has to complete all 4 of these quests, of these task tiles. And yes, you must do them in a specific order, starting with transformation, then optimize, then Ultimate, and then Age of Ultron. And as you can see, there's a nice little image of the Ultron heads with the cords and the uplink, I believe. So you basically start the game by putting them there, and each one has a objective that you must do in order to reveal it. So remove 2 centuries from your domain to reveal this card. And what you do, these are basically, these tiles are basically Ultron's specialties that he can use throughout the game. Once they're revealed. When you play a sentry, you may choose a card from your discard pile and add it to your hand. That would be Transformation, which is that nice, really nice image of Ultron getting all, well, transformed and all. Then we have Optimize, which is the transformation specialty must be in play. So once you reveal these tiles, you may put them into the specialty board, and I would usually have these tiles right next to it. So once you reveal them, you can just put them there. And you can use all of them throughout your simple turn if you're able. Optimize. You must remove a duplicate sentry with 2 impervious alloys attached to it to reveal this tile. And we reveal Optimize, which is Ultron looking very forearms-ish. Can we put an image? Yeah, very mechanical forearms-ish, which I like. So you may treat this card as a play 1 card or a move or a relocate action. And then you put that there. But make sure you have them on top of each other so you know which one's active and which ones that you can do. Then we have Ultimate, which is you must have a sentry in each location in your domain to reveal this tile. And there you have Ultimate, which is... Okay, now he's gone from forearms to looking like Ashura from Ashura's Wrath. Yeah, okay, yeah, put the image right up there. Wow, making a lot of references in this video. This is good. Before moving your villain to a new location, you gain 1 power, which is pretty ultimate, if I do say so. And for Age of Ultron, you must pay 12 power to reveal this card. And there's Age of Ultron with Ultron super annihilated. And if you can see, there is a dead Iron Man, Captain America, and Hulk there with the destruction. And that is 12 power. So when Age of Ultron is revealed, you win the game. And that is the end of those specialty tiles. And I'm just going to say this, if I didn't do it in my beginner's guide. For this game, all of the main pieces start off on the character picture. Otherwise, and then you move. You cannot go back there. And let's get into the character piece for Ultron. And I gotta say, I really complimented, hang on, who did this again? One sec. Just double checking everything. Whoops. Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Ravensburg did an amazing job with the Disney figurines, having them be a translucent plastic, and each one has their own color. And this time they went with a full plastic, full color scheme, and I really love the silver. And this of Ultron, you got the main head, you got the cords, and then you got the 3 heads indicating his drones or his duplicates. And this is a really, really nice evil chess piece looking of Ultron, which is very nice. Now I'm going to start with his villain deck, like I normally do. So I'm going to be going effect, items, and allies. And Ultron's got quite a bit. Majorly, he has more effects and allies than he has items. So, and they do have multiple copies. So let's start off with, let me just double check. 3 copies of Reconfigure. And there's that really cool image of Ultron being, well, reconfigured, basically. Very nice image. Gain 1 power for each location in your domain with at least 1 sentry. So this is a pretty good card in order to gain more power throughout the game. And you got 3 copies of that. Then we have 2 copies. I just want to get this right. 2 copies of every contingency covered. And we got that pretty cool image of Ultron doing the system check or like analysis, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. But I do love how the artwork is very comic booky, whereas the Disney ones were very stylized of the movies, and this one is definitely really, really comic booky, and I love that. Choose either effect or item. Reveal cards from your deck until you reveal a card of that type. Add that card to your hand. And you get 2 copies of that one. And then we get, just going to double check here, because I don't like making mistakes. We get 2 copies of Assimilate Knowledge with that really nice image of Ultron accessing Iron Man's helmet. Sorry if the shaking of the stand, guys. I'm trying to do my best. Look at the top 6 cards of the Fate deck, then put them back face down in any order you wish. This is a good way to prevent you from using Fate cards against you, and for getting ones that are good for your opponent. So this is a really cool way of assimilating the deck. And you get 2 copies of that. Next, we have 2 copies of Technoforming, which is pretty cool image of a empowered Ultron just kind of morphing his body around like a real mechanical nutcase. Place a strength token, +1 strength token on an ally you control. You may relocate that ally to an event. So that works, and you get 2 copies of that for boosting your allies and sending them to events in order to accomplish the goals. Then we get 2 copies of Encephalo-Ray, which is that pretty cool image of Ultron just using that energy blast from his head. Place a negative strength token on each hero in your domain. So that's cool. A good way to weaken the heroes, and they get 2 copies of that. Next up are the items. And like I said, Ultron doesn't have as many items as he has effects and allies. For instance, he's got 2 copies of Assembly Line, which is a really cool image of the Ultron drone assembly line. And this is an activate card. So while it's on the board, once you get to a activate action, you may use the ability. Reveal cards from your deck until you reveal an ally. Add that card to your hand and gain 1 power. And you get 2 copies of that. And we have 4 copies of Impervious Alloy. And this is the card you need to have to a duplicate sentry with 2 of these in order to activate Optimize. So, and there is that really cool image of Ultron. Basically, all these cards are of Ultron being in different poses. That's basically what this is. When played, attach Impervious Alloy to an ally you control. Impervious ally can only be removed if the attached creature is defeated. And this gives it +2 strength. And you get 4 copies of that. So, yeah, he loves his alloys. And now it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the allies that will be working for the benevolent mastermind that is Ultron. Wait a minute. Am I missing a card here? Nope, I'm not. We got 4 copies with the duplicate sentries, which are the nice chrome blue Ultron clones, and they have no special abilities. And you get 4 copies of those because these guys are pretty expendable. And then you get 3 copies of your flying sentry, which are basically the other sentries, just more silver with the blue face look and the side blasts. If flying sentry is at an event, when it resolves, you may relocate this ally to your location, to a location in your domain. So basically, if flying sentry is used to complete an event, instead of being discarded, he will be sent to another location in your realm. So basically, they just fly back to home base, basically. And then we get 3 copies of the heavy attack sentry. Now, these things are bulkier, basically like a tank buster, a Hulk buster. And this one gives the location a vanquish action. So you can vanquish more and use these guys more. And you get 3 copies of him. And now we get 1 copy of the giant sentry. Now, this one has 6 power and 6 cost. And look at this thing. This is giant, and I love it. I really love it. You may discard 2 other sentries from your hand instead of paying this card's cost. So having sentries on the board is good, but you also need them in your hand in order to avoid paying the heavy 6 cost. And then we have 1 copy of Alchema. Alchema? I think I'm saying that right. I'm not really well versed in the Marvel-verse that well. When Alchema is played, defeat a character at her location. And I almost forgot. I always forget this whenever I do the Villainous. We get that nice background of the card. There's Ultron's main head with all the circuitry going down into the cords and to the 3 Ultron duplicate heads. So for any Ultron fans out there, if you want a sick tattoo design, there it is. I do this with all of my Villainous guides. So take a screenshot. Get a tattoo. And then we got 1 copy of Jocasta, which she looks angry and powerful. I have no clue what she is. When Jocasta is played, you may relocate any hero to any location in any realm. Good enough. And then we have, I went over the generic Fate deck that all the characters will be using, but you will be taking some of those cards out depending on how many characters villains are fighting, and you will also shove in some of the villains' own Fate decks. Because if you can see, there is the Ultron's logo right on the bottom of this card, and that means this card will mostly affect Ultron more. It can be used on other people, but on other villains, but it's more effective against him. So starting off with the effects, like I always do, we get 3 copies of Molecular Rearranger, and that there is Iron Man with that really badass looking weapon. When Molecular Rearranger is played, choose an item or ally card if the target in the targeted player's domain. That player must remove all copies of that card from their domain. So this is a pretty good way of eliminating sentries for the objectives. And then you get 2 copies of an item, Deactivation Switch. Attach Deactivation Switch to a specialty. The specialty may no longer be used until the targeted player pays 2 power on their turn to remove the activation switch. So this is basically another way of limiting Ultron's specialties. Well, the first 3, because the last one just wins the game. So overall, yeah. So that's a pretty cool card, and I like the image of that emergency switch shut off. I like that. And now for the event. And this is when this event is revealed, it immediately goes to Ultron. When gaining power, Ultron gains 1 fewer power. Invasion of Stark Enterprises, and there is Iron Man defeating all the drones. And the reward for completing this is Ultron gains 6 power. Good to know. And now for the heroes. First off, we have Wonder Man, which is a really cool image of the dude. Once again, my knowledge on Marvel isn't as versed as a bunch of my friends. So if any of you know, please explain Wonder Man, because I think Wonder Woman just found her alternate world husband. When Wonder Man is defeated, find Vision, then play or relocate him to Wonder Man's previous location. So this is a pretty good way of getting Vision out, because Vision is always in the extra Fate deck, Fate deck. And then we have Mockingbird, and I hate saying this, but basically Marvel's version of Black Canary. Man, there are so many versions of characters in this world. When Mockingbird is played, the targeted player loses 2 power. And she actually does look pretty badass, I will admit. And then we have Hank Pym, who looks distraught for some reason. When Hank Pym is played is in your domain, you may not play or find cards from your discard pile. Okay, Pym. And next we have Wasp, who has that really cool image of her firing her lasers right at the Ultron drone. When Wasp is played, you may relocate any hero from the targeted player's domain to a new location in any player's domain. So basically this allows you, so if you are Ultron and you have an irritating non-Ultron related villain in your hero in your domain, you may do this to yourself in order to get that hero out of there and make him someone else's problem. And finally, we have everyone's favorite woman in the Marvel Universe right now. We have the Scarlet Witch herself, and that very beautiful, very amazing, badass image of Scarlet Witch with all the magic. It looks really good. When Scarlet Witch is played, choose a card type. The targeted player must reveal their hand and discard all cards of the chosen card type. Good on you, Wanda. Good on Wanda. And, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to say it, but that is it for the Marvel Villainous Guide of Ultron. And hope you enjoyed this video. Hope this helped you learn the game. Hope you learn the strategies to defeat and play as Ultron. That's technically what these lists do for the Marvel ones. It helps you learn how to beat them and how to defeat him at the same time. Oh boy. So that's it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and join me next week as I end the month of May, as we do another game review where we're heading into the dangerous Borderlands. This is GamerK, logging out.